Live, this is News 12. News First at 5 on your side.
And here's a live look across the fairways. Number 9, number 1 on this beautiful afternoon in Augusta, Georgia. Opening round at the Masters, the first day when the strokes start to count on this legendary golf course for the best players in the world. Good afternoon, I'm Richard Rogers. Great to have you along with us. Thursday at the Masters, and the weather today is playing a major impact. It's not the rain we had overnight, it's the swirling winds of Augusta that have the golfers throwing up grass and trying to make their best guess at what clubs to use out here. Sports director Kevin Feigl joins us now. And Kevin, going low is a chore today.
Yeah, not only a chore, but the one guy that is going low, the guy we got used to seeing last year at the top, Jordan Spieth, led wire to wire. He's going to try to do it again by the way he started today. This was Spieth on the driving range earlier this morning, trying out the new driver. He cracked his yesterday. No problem, though, with a handful of birdies and no bogeys. He sits 5 under and is in the lead.
I enjoy this tournament more than anywhere else. It's easy for us. We don't have any or many distractions in our preparation, and we enjoy that. You're able to kind of feel like you get enough done and you have enough time to do everything, and I think that's useful when we start on the first hole.
So here is your leaderboard. Spieth is 6 under, no bogeys on the scorecard. Jason Day just birdied 13 to get into a tie for second with Shane Lowry. Paul Casey played alongside of Spieth and right there as well. Justin Rose 3 under, Vaughn Taylor and Kevin Kisner 2 over and 5 over respectively. You see Vaughn Taylor there. Well, he played in the third group out this morning. For the most part, he did hold his own. 2 over was the score. That included a double bogey on 11. He was frustrated at that point, but it didn't get him down.
Anytime you make a bad score and come back with some good shots, it's always good for the memory bank, and I feel like I responded well.
Taylor said he was nervous like he was his first Masters, but not quite as bad.
Right.
That first Masters, very heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching for him.
We can't even imagine.
Yeah, if he's confident, though, going into tomorrow. He just go out and play his game. He's got the nerves taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, but it's such a head game. I mean, no matter which way you slice it, but even for some of these older guys, the honorary start this morning, they put a lot of pressure on themselves to try to hit it as far as they can every year. But this year, a lot of patrons were just so thankful to be able to see Arnold Palmer out there today. They weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it, and he did make it out to that first tee. Gary Player crushed a drive down the middle of the fairway. Jack Nicklaus not too far behind him, but even though these old friends are still pretty competitive with each other, they said today was all about Arnie. Jack Nicklaus says at the Champions Dinner he even tried to talk to Palmer. He tried to talk him into surprising everyone and just hitting it.
When you're out there, what if we just take you up and have you hit just, I don't care if you putt it off the tee. I think everybody would love to have you do anything. And he said, let me think about it. I said, okay. And so I got this morning, I talked to him and I said, what do you want to do? And he says, I'm good. I said, fine, let's leave it alone.
They say it's his balance they worry about, but hey, at 86 years old, I think he's probably earned the right to sit this one out.
Absolutely. But look at that crowd, and what an ovation this morning.
It really was a special feeling out there today. You could just see how much everybody was supporting him, and you can really tell how much Augusta loves Arnold Palmer.
No doubt about that. Arnold Palmer means so much to so many here in Augusta. Even after all these years, Arnie does still have an army here at Augusta National. But I found one of the volunteers here at the golf course who has a very special connection to the King. His name is Rusty Gwill, and these days he's one of the volunteers gathering the information that appears on the scoreboards around Augusta National. But Arnie made a big impression on him when he was just a kid.
It was in 1966, and I was actually here on hole number 1, and the prior year to that I had been involved in a car accident and my right arm was severed.
Doctors at university were able to save the arm, and a year after the car crash, he was right back here at the Masters.
He was a superstar, and just the way he acknowledged people, the way he looked at people, it was just a totally different feeling, and from that moment on, I said I want to be like that man.
Which leads us to the letter. Years later, as an adult, Rusty decided to tell the King exactly how he felt.
Greetings from my home in Clemson, South Carolina. I never thought I would write you a letter, but my admiration for you is stronger than my pride.
Palmer not only got the letter, he wrote Rusty back, asking him to look after his granddaughter at Clemson University, where Rusty works.
So I did. I was very, very excited to do that.
And when he met Arnie's granddaughter, she told him something amazing. She knew his story.
No, I know your story. And I said, how? She said, because when I met Granddaddy in the airport a week ago, he was carrying your letter in his pocket. And I said, really? And she said, why? And she said, because he said it's helped inspire him. And I lost it. I did. It got to me.
They became friends, and he has the pictures to prove it. This one's from Palmer's 76th birthday.
He was nice enough to let me be a part of that, and it was his birthday, and we reminisced on Masters memories going back probably 40 years.
These days, Rusty's office at Clemson is full of memories of the King. Many are signed by Palmer himself, which makes days like today on the first tee in Augusta even more special for people who love Arnie.
He's just somebody I've admired so much. You know, just the fact that he was out here, the respect he has for this tournament, and to let people see him, that just makes him all the more special to me.
How about that? The story of a 7-year-old boy whose hero ends up becoming his friend. Just another example of what makes Arnold Palmer such a great Masters champion and so much more. And Christy, I'm glad you were with me to hear Rusty tell a story here on the first fairway.
I'm telling you, Richard, I felt honored to be there. He almost had me in tears just describing his respect for Arnie out there. And you know what I thought was so special is that it almost felt like a reverent feeling out there today. I think he was just kind of expressing how everybody was feeling today.
He's the voice of many generations, right, who feel the same way about this this young player who came here as a young man when television was brand new. And really, Arnie's Army is all about Augusta. A lot of those members of Arnie's Army, those were Fort Gordon soldiers. That's how it got the nickname.
Absolutely. And it's just so many different wonderful stories to so many different people. So just another wonderful story from the grounds of Augusta National. Richard, thanks for sharing.
Your sleep may have been interrupted late last night. Between about 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, you may have woken up. If you're not sure why, it was thunderstorms, and they rumbled through, dropping about 1/4 of an inch of rain in the Augusta area. Here are some gusty winds, though. Once that front came through this morning, there's some strong winds behind it out of the west, gusting up to 30 miles an hour at times. There's actually still a wind advisory in effect for the rest of today. How much rain is in the forecast, though? Because there is another chance for rain, and it's going to come again during the nighttime hours. Take a look at our model here, taking you through the overnight hours with not nearly as much rain expected. We're talking about less than 1/10 of an inch, so it won't have as much of an effect, most likely to slow down the greens for round 2 as we had for round 1. Major ragers going on right now. The gates opened at 5 p.m. and here's your numbers as we head into this evening. Looks like a lot of nice weather to have some fun in, listen to some good music, and could see a shower as we head toward the midnight hour tonight.
Good concert weather. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Well, we've all heard it. Eat your vegetables. But today it was First Lady Michelle Obama talking to students in Burke County about eating healthy. Burke County Middle School has its own Farm to School program. Brittany Craig was there and says Mrs. Obama did more than talk.
She did. From the White House to the greenhouse, the First Lady planted vegetables today with the middle schoolers. Her Let's Move campaign promotes healthy living, which she says starts with what we eat. It's not every day the First Lady comes to Burke County.
At first I really thought that it was just like a joke.
But it was not a joke.
There's a real reason why we picked Burke County to be here, because you all are leading the way in farm to school programs.
The First Lady and NBC's Al Roker visiting the school known to serve fresh and locally grown foods for lunch every day.
We really just wanted to showcase that her Let's Move initiative really does work.
The First Lady traveling to schools with gardens to further push the Let's Move campaign while she's still in the White House.
Tuesday, we did our last planting before my husband and we leave the White House. So I was a little sad, but wanted to celebrate by doing what we're calling an American garden tour.
I got to plant a garden with Miss Michelle Obama, asparagus, and we planted the seeds for okra today.
And after planting those vegetables, the First Lady headed to another school to encourage healthy eating, leaving Burke County students with a new garden that may soon be on their lunch trays.
You're using it in your classrooms, you're eating healthier school lunches, and it's having a good impact on your education and on your overall health.
Now, Michelle Obama is responsible for planting the first White House kitchen garden since World War II. And of course, she says she hopes the next First Lady will help keep that initiative alive.
Brittany, there's just something different about hearing "Eat Your Veggies" from the First Lady than hearing it from your parents. Maybe it'll actually stick with the kids hearing it from her.
Exactly, and the two girls I spoke with, they said that they are going to at least try some of the vegetables they planted today because they were able to plant it with the First Lady.
Very cool experience for them. Thanks a lot, Brittany. Gates opened just a few minutes ago for the 3rd annual Major Rager concert. Bands will cover songs ranging from The Police to Stevie Wonder. Lindsay Tuman is live at the Augusta Common. Lindsay, how's the crowd looking out there?
Well, Gates did just open just a few minutes ago, so I know it doesn't look like it quite right now, but people are trickling in, and it's definitely shaping up to be a great night. Just a little bit, we're going to hear from Earfunk, then the Revivalists. Then they missed last year, they're back this year. Humphreys McGee is the headline act this year, and it's going to be fun. Here's an interesting fact for you. Apparently the band's big golfers. They've been out on the course. They've actually been playing themselves a little bit, not at the Masters, but apparently in between sound checks and writing songs, they picked up golf, so it really is the perfect venue for them this week. Now, if you're not into music, don't worry. There's plenty of options. We've got vendors, we've got food, fried Oreos, pretzels. What's better than a pretzel? I really don't know. And a fried Oreo. Okay, maybe that's better. But you can't make it out here. Not to worry. We have the solution for you. This year, they're actually doing the whole thing on a live stream. So if you can't make it out, you can still catch all the fun on the live stream. You can go to our website, WRDW.com. We'll post a link on there for where you can watch the show tonight. Live at the Augusta Common, Lindsay Tuman on your side.
No matter where you go, you can hear some good music. And a reminder, if you are getting out there for that concert, the eastbound lanes of Reynolds Street will be blocked off to all traffic in between 8th and 9th Streets. That's from 9 a.m. until 1 a.m. Business leaders around the world are coming to Augusta, but not just for the Masters. They're also here on the 57th Red Carpet Tour. CEOs will take a 4-day look at Georgia's economy. Cody O'Hara joins us now from the newsroom. Cody, what are CEOs expecting to gain from this trip?
Well, Christy, this is a chance for business and political leaders to get together and talk about future economic development. The Georgia and Augusta Metro Chambers of Commerce rolled out the red carpet. The tour brings CEOs to the Garden City during Masters Week to see the state's thriving economy and to try to bring companies into the area. Getting all of these people under one tent is where leaders say business relationships start.
It's very difficult to tie these folks down. They're very busy, and but this opportunity is every community would love to have an opportunity like it.
Now, leaders spent the rest of the day at the Masters and will visit Jekyll Island before coming back to Augusta on Saturday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Cody. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are looking ahead to the next contest in New York in 2 weeks after their losses in Tuesday's Wisconsin primary to Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz. We have the latest from the campaign trail.
With round one almost in the books, we're looking ahead to the next 3 rounds of the Masters, and it looks like we could see some slow greens tomorrow morning with some showers tonight, and the wind is here for a while. Cold temps too coming up.
And why experts say the campaign may have something to do with the surge in gun sales.